Ladies and gentlemen.
Shut up.
Welcome to lucky episode 13 of the podcast, which we've been trying to do for 3 weeks, but all hell broke loose, and then we recorded one that we couldn't put out because we said some dumb shit.
This is episode 13 and a half, and I just want to emphasize I will be on my best behavior. I will not ruin any more podcasts by saying...
You're about to say what we had to cancel an episode for.
I know.
That is. How's it going, Julien?
I'm very grumpy today. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired, but other than that, I'm chilling like a villain. You know how I do.
Why? What did you do?
Nothing.
Why are you tired? And how much did you lack your sleep?
No, I actually got very, very good sleep, and I think that's why I'm tired, because I slept like 12 hours total, not in one go. I slept like 12 hours, but I feel like my body just went, what is this? We are not used to this. We don't like it. Now my body is literally just exhausted from sleeping.
I like that you call your body that it's in plural.
Yeah, they all of them, all of the pieces,
all of the body.
Yeah, no, we went to a friend's birthday party. Shout out Shandy Shin, and hung out for a little bit, and yeah, it was a chill vibe. We didn't get too crazy, but I am exhausted. I didn't sleep very well, and then when I did sleep, I didn't wake up.
Okay, well, sounds like at least the body got rest. The brain maybe not so much.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. But yeah, it's been 3 fucking weeks since we've done this properly. We have done this, but we had to, like I said, scrap one of the episodes.
Sorry,
but 13. People say 13 is unlucky.
It was because we already recorded the first one. So
my favorite line is, I'm not superstitious.
Unlucky.
I'm a little stitious.
I think we have to cancel this episode.
Come on, that's a great line. Are you superstitious? You're not superstitious.
Fuck no.
You know, there's people that like throw salt over their shoulder, and
oh, fuck that.
They don't walk under ladders.
They don't walk under a ladder. Kick it from the inside out.
They think black cats crossing your path means you're gonna get shit luck.
Any cat crossing my path is annoyance.
Yeah, you're a dog person.
I'm a dog person, but also it means I have to use my brakes on whichever mode of transportation I'm on.
Why aren't you just walking?
Are you okay?
Why wouldn't you just be walking then a cat crosses your path? Why do you have to use brakes?
Why? When am I walking?
Well, you're walking to like the supermarket.
What the fuck? I don't walk to the supermarket. It's like an hour away. What the fuck are you talking about?
You live in fuck nowhere.
Yeah, walk to the supermarket. That's insane. It takes a day.
Isn't there the local grocer?
No, they all went bankrupt because of the big ass supermarket though.
Which you're driving to, okay.
Yeah. I have to because all the local people have gone. No, I do go to a butcher shop if I get meat for like a barbecue. Yesterday I was at Bussy's place with Lars, my friends, and we got meat from the butcher, like not from the supermarket. We got a steak from the butcher. But you know, that's rare. Normally I just go to the supermarket.
It was rare and then you cooked it. Sorry, guys. It's been
at this point, I would prefer to release the previous episode and just get it over with and get canceled.
It's been 3 weeks. Listen, you guys, I've been around people that have laughed at dumb jokes for the last 48 hours. So
yeah. Also, we kept our word. Not our word. It's just the thing that we have. We don't talk a lot outside of the podcast. So that means that we
haven't talked
the last
weeks.
Yeah, and we did last week when we did the previous episode, but it was such an episode that we only talked about very specific things in the wrong way, mostly me, and then we didn't talk. So you have pent up dumb jokes.
I have a lot of pent up. Here's a good exercise. You guys listening to this or watching this,
exercise.
I exercise my demons.
There you go. I'm not one to talk, by the way, but go on.
I want them to guess what they think the episode might be about.
Oh God, what would it have been? Like what possibly could it have been about?
I don't know. Could have been about
possibly is an active topic anything that I yell about.
Yeah, absolutely anything. It could have been anything. But
it could have been goldfish.
It could have been goldfish. That's true.
Yeah, definitely wasn't, but it could have been.
One thing that I'm very excited about is April 3rd, we're putting on a show. My first time ever trying to organize and promote a show. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be very different. It was supposed to have a bunch of Kuwaiti bands on the roster, but because of the way things are, we don't know if they can travel, if the airport's going to be open. Nobody's able to book anything yet or confirm it. So we changed it to 3 local bands. And I'm very, very fucking excited. The headlining band, Wake Up Karma, it's going to be their first time headlining, and I definitely think they deserve that shit. This band's first show ever, they had shit on lockdown. They were all in-ears. They had the screen triggered with the click. So they had visuals. They had a light show. Their first show ever.
How they sound?
They sound incredible. They sound really good. Okay. Modern metal, very, very, very tight. I think they just they all have different experience from like different music endeavors and stuff. So I think they just came together and fucking locked it in for this one.
So modern metal. So it's like 8-string guitars tuned to drop yogurt and then
drop
yeah, drop it, and then they use bridge cables as strings, and then more they do the and then they do the
more metalcore than the Breeze, but yeah, I think they're
okay.
They you kind of nailed it there.
I think that's a great way to describe metal. I once saw an interview, I think it's still on YouTube, from back when Howard was still in Killswitch, where him and Adam D did an entire playthrough of their album just by them going fantastic.
And then the next song is just do it.
It's great.
Yeah, man, I miss that guy in that band.
Howard.
Yeah,
he's still in Light the Torch, right?
I don't know if they're active.
I haven't seen anything from them in a while, and he does stuff with what's his name, the YouTuber. I forget his name.
Jared Dines. Yeah.
Jared Dines. Yeah.
They have a band together, like a project together. He had the Devil May Care, Devil in Me, something like that.
Devil in Me, I think.
Yeah, he had another project that was pretty cool. But that band with Howard in it had such like especially with their like behind the scenes DVDs and all that shit. Like you felt like you could hang with these motherfuckers. Like they were just so open about who they were. It was fucking cool.
I think they're still that way with Jesse. It's like I grew up with Killswitch when it was still Jesse, and then when he left and then Howard came in, that was like the peak era for Killswitch.
Yeah.
Back then, the End of Heartache, was it?
The End of Heartache was the big one. Yeah, that's the one.
Rose of Sharon and stuff like that. But like those songs are fantastic. And then Jesse came back, and they're still really open about who they are and what they do. Jesse's just a lot more. He seems.
Oh, I lost you there.
Why?
Jesse's just a lot more open. He seems, spiritual. And then it cut out. Oh, spiritual.
Oh yeah, and it's like he's super spiritual on his social media, from what I see.
Yeah, like
taking walks through nature and talking. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I love it, but it's a very different perspective. Like with Jesse, I feel like I have a long conversation. Like an intellectual conversation would be very easy to have with him. When it was Howard and Adam in those interviews, I thought, these guys I can take a shopping cart and go down a mountain with.
You can do some. And he the persona on stage, like he wears these fucking capes and runs around, tries to always go to the bar.
Pirate capes, yeah.
He goes to the bar and does shots or chugs a beer while he's playing live.
He's a great musician.
He says he's not. I always find that funny. He always says I'm the worst fucking guitarist in the world.
Oh, I love his playing. I don't know how much he writes, but I think he writes quite a substantial piece of the music. So he's a phenomenal writer then.
And he produces everything, doesn't he? Like records it, mixes it, masters it, does all the shit. Yeah.
So very talented. I love that he says that he's not, but unfortunately the numbers prove that he is.
So. Yeah. It is. I don't know, man. The other day I was thinking about all the music that I listened to. Somebody was asking me like, "Oh, because you guys do the stream and you listen to a whole bunch of music, what do you play in the car?" And I realized I don't necessarily pop in any new albums. Like other than the Machine Head album that came out last year, I don't think I have a rotation of new albums that I'm like, this is the one that I fucking love, and I'm listening to it nonstop. I have a few, but for the majority of what I listen to, it's fucking 20 years old at least. It's just what I grew up listening to, and I'm just listening to it again.
For me, it's a bit. I used to do that a lot, and I up until very recently, I still did that. But now on the Fridays, I listen in the car. I listen to new stuff, like new releases, which is a bunch of underground bands as well, and then a bit more known bands. And I have a couple of albums. At the moment, I have one album of a band which isn't a small band. It's Dayseeker. They released a new album.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I don't know why, but Dayseeker, I saw them live once, or a live performance of them once. I didn't actually see them live, and that just impressed me so much by the way these guys play and the way that guy handles his vocals, and the way I was like, okay, these guys are really great, and that new album's fantastic. But now that I've decided to take on bands again for management, I kind of have to also listen to new music because I have to be in the loop a little bit of what's popular and what works and what doesn't. So I've been listening to more newer stuff, but I'm still quite easy to go back into the stuff that I like listening to, because I'm not a huge fan of a lot of new metal, because not new metal, but like new metal.
not NU metal.
Yeah, because it kind of just a lot of it, to me, and I recognize that that's my age speaking now, but to me, a lot of it just kind of sounds the same. I don't see a lot of creative innovation, but I may also just be looking in the wrong direction. So if anyone's like, hey, you shouldn't say that, you should go here, then please direct me there.
Yeah.
All the deathcore-ish stuff that I hear with the 8-string guitars, and then either the gimmicky lows like Lorna Shore does. And by the way, I'm saying gimmicky because if you're a band doing it now, it might be gimmicky. I'm not saying that Lorna Shore is gimmicky. That guy's voice is insane.
Yeah.
But things like Lorna Shore, Alex Terrible, where there's something super extreme on the low end that makes it kind of catchy. That's not really my thing anyway, the extremer versions of metal. But also the 8-string genty metalcore-ish thing kind of all sounds the same.
Yeah. And the new wave of finding new sounds to make with your face, and all these like fucking, it's not even pig squeals, it's just like grunts and
animal noises.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, the animal noises.
I remember there was a Black Dahlia Murder DVD, like a behind the scenes thing from their tour, and they asked, rest in peace, Trevor Sternad, where do you see death metal going in the next 10 years? And in that DVD from 15 years ago, he says it's just going to get more disgusting. They're just going to be basically farting into the microphone at some point. Like, it's just going to get more extreme, more extreme, more extreme. And he even does like a as a joke while he has like a dinosaur puppet on his hand. And it's incredible because he called it. He fucking called it. It's what he did in that DVD is basically what's happening now.
I mean, it is. That's just, I saw them live a couple of weeks ago. I got invited by the Halo Effect, and I went there doing the tour with Black Dahlia Murder and this, I forget their name, Frozen Soil, I think. Mm-hmm. American band, really funny band, good band. And then Halo and Heaven Shall Burn. And for some reason, I don't know if this was part of the show because I wasn't paying attention. I just went outside, had a cigarette, came back inside. I was just watching part of the show. And then when I came back inside, there was a guy in a gorilla suit on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Black Dahlia always do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really followed them. So I was like, hey, these guys, they're me. This is home. Why?
So the reason they do that is they have a song called Statutory. Mm-hmm. But they changed it to Statutory Ape to not get censored. So that's the ape.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I was like, either this is just a random guy, and like it's not weird at a metal show to see someone dress up Like, let's be honest
exactly. We've all seen a banana crowd surfing at some point. Like, there's
I saw a banana a while back when I went to the Dragon Force show. There was 2 of them. That was even weirder. There was 2 of them, and they did the whole Spider-Man meme because they weren't together. They weren't buddies in the same.
They just rocked up.
Both of them, like separate from each other, rocked up in banana costumes, and they did the Spider-Man meme where they just stood there and just pointed at each other, which I thought was really funny. And
we
they
had
got an applause.
Svengali had a Pikachu in the Wall of Death at one point, and it was one of those costumes that
inflatable ones,
the inflatable thing, and we were separating the crowd, everything separated, and then as bright as fuck, just this yellow ball standing in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, kick his ass. And you just see the Wall of Death come close, and this fucking Pikachu, and the costume like kind of imploded, and then it went, all the air went into his head, and there was nothing in the body. It was just some dude with a fucking inflatable Pikachu.
Giant Pikachu head.
I've seen
the Pikachus before. I've seen them at Wacken or Summer Breeze, like people in the crowd just in a Pokemon inflatable costume.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gorilla was fun. I was like, hey, I may need to listen. I have one album from the Black Dahlia Murder. I can't even name which one it is. I have a vinyl from them. I have listened to it a couple of times, and I was like, I should really listen to this band more because that's brutal, and that's just really fun.
And it's riffage death metal.
Yeah. I'm a stickler for riffing anyway, which is why I'm so heavily into the Gothenburg Melodeath scene. The riffs are, for me, one of the most important things about a song. That's what catches my ear. That or drum fills.
Okay.
But not weirdly overcomplicated 7 time signatures in one fill. But more like snappy and fast and just out of the ordinary stuff on a drum, but it can still be in 4/4. Like Alex Bent playing The Revanchist by Trivium, which is such a weird drum. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it. It's a really great song. That just immediately catches my ear. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that specific song, but I know that he's incredible. Another one that comes to mind is I forget his name, but the guy from Shadows Fall. I'm pretty sure he's in another band now, maybe Overkill or something. But old school Shadows Fall stuff. I remember listening to it and going, "That is a very unique choice for a drum part. Like that is not what you would go for immediately."
And I do like that. It has to match. Like you can't just throw in random stuff and then just go, "Oh, maybe you like it." No, it has to be really cool. But there's a certain type of drummer that catches my ear really quickly, and a properly written drum is great. It's not Mike Portnoy, by the way.
No, I was going to say Mark Portnoy. I just remembered in Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica documentary, Lars Ulrich, I can't say his
Ulrich
was trying out a new beat, like just instead of doing just do the Metallica thing, bro. Just do there's a riff playing, just do the Metallica thing, and he was doing this doom da doom doom da. And James is like, "What are you doing?" I've
never seen that documentary.
Dude, you should. It's fucking incredible. It's actually genuinely like a well-made documentary. It's sad to see like people you grew up listening to go through like real hardship. But it was fucking interesting. And James was like, "I don't know, man. I'm used to the drummer doing the drum part. Like, what is this shit?" They started fighting about it being stock versus not stock. Are we just churning out the same music? And all that shit was documented. I always thought that was really, really interesting. Like, how does a band that's been around for 40 fucking years make it sound new?
I get it, and I also get it from both perspectives, I think. I understand that you're trying to want to do something different because you might, like, inherently, you might be a little bit bored by churning out the same stuff. But then I also understand that the argument of saying, are we just going to be churning out the same stuff, doesn't count if you're the person who invented said stuff. Like, yes, you'll be churning it out because you're the originator of that stuff. So it's not like you're churning out like copied stuff. This is you're setting the bar. So I kind of get it from both sides.
They're so big that they can never win. There's no way.
They can never win and they can never lose.
When they release things that sound like old Metallica, people are like, "Oh, they sound like old Metallica. They're just basically a cover band of themselves in the past," which I never understood because it's the fucking band that did it, right? And then when they release new stuff, they're like, go back to fucking Kill 'Em All, go back to Ride the Lightning. What is this new shit? It's like nobody's happy.
This happens at a lower level too. Like In Flames has it. In Flames has it a lot when they go like, just write the old shit. And then when they write stuff like that's more like the old stuff. And then people go, what happened to the new stuff? Why what's going on here? Like, I understand the choice of wanting to do new stuff as well. And I also, especially for a band like In Flames, I understand that you want to be a little bit more commercial than you were in the 90s. Like the times have changed so much. I'm not saying this is the case for them specifically. I'm just saying for bands in general that I think this might be a reason to think about commercial stuff, is that I think people forget that a lot of the musicians they listen to have a full or part-time job next to it. This is a big band, and this big band will live off the music that they make, and then you have to find out that on the side they have like a job where they work remotely and still have a paycheck, and like there's not a lot of money left in alternative music.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't for a long time. I remember Children of Bodom were Children of Bodom, and I heard them in Qatar, and they were huge over there. And getting to know that one of the guitarist still works at a fucking butcher shop, and the other dude. Yeah. Busks on the fucking sidewalk on his way to his waiter job, and I was like, God damn, they're still slugging it out.
Was it Randy Blythe, Lamb of God, like until early 2000s, I think, which was very much a peak period as well for them. Still had a job. Like it's not as profitable as people think it is, and it's gotten so much worse since COVID, and since for some reason Live Nation has now fully decided that they could just take the piss out of everyone. Like they were always mobsters, but now they've stopped hiding it. They're like, fuck it.
What are they doing?
I don't know. There was an article the other day about two guys' messages to Live Nation, I think VPs or at least high-level guys, their DMs got leaked, and it was basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I'm not too far off, I think. Just one guy saying, "God, these idiots are still paying for this. I almost feel bad for scamming them with this much money."
Damn,
that's very detrimental. Like we all know that Live Nation is there just for the money. I don't even think they would deny that they're not in it for just the money. Live Nation is not in it for music. Then it would have been called Music Nation. They may as well call themselves Finance World. But it's like, I don't think they would deny it. Because at the end of the day, it's a commercial setup, and any commercial setup is there to make money. But to be that open about, like, this is basically saying we don't have to have the prices this high, but we're going to do it anyway. And we don't care about the people attached to it in terms of the fans. We don't care about the musicians, who are obviously going to lose even more money because everything is more expensive, and it's going to be too expensive for people to come see them. And it's not like when you try to ignore Live Nation from a professional musician perspective, you can't. You're locking yourself out of like 70% of the market. So that's not really an option. You can't say, I'm going to tour the US, but we're going to skip all venues attached to Live Nation. Then you're not touring the US. You're doing a couple of bar shows in Nevada. Yeah. Like that's maybe not even.
Yeah.
But like, that's it. So, it's a thing. It's a risky move. Starting back up in music for me. I understand that this is a risky move. But I also think that maybe together we can all figure out how to navigate this hellhole that it's become a little bit more if we do it together.
Yeah, 100%.
And like I want to help people. I find it a shame that in my mind, there is a very low possibility that bands that are starting now will have the opportunity to earn money and live off their music in like 2 decades if something big doesn't happen.
I was talking to someone about what I decided to call, because I didn't know what else to call it, but I called it the post-music industry, which is you're a musician in a band, 9 out of 10 times you'd have to have something else to do that's kind of related to the music, but outside of it. Like write a book, or some people model, or You gotta do vocal lessons. You use that platform to kind of generate income elsewhere, and make them feed into each other. The people that come only through this will find out about the band. The people that find out about the band will find out about this thing. And then I went through, like, I was having this discussion with somebody, and almost everybody that's successful, that has some sort of following and their band is doing okay, has to have something on the side that they're doing this, like, post music thing, whether it's a book or even a solo album on the side, like something. There's got to be something. There's nobody that's just like, I'm Bruce from Iron Maiden. Like, there's nobody that just has that one thing.
No, not really. Like, even he's a pilot still. Not that he needs to be, but, like, you know, also for your own mental health, you should probably do multiple things, but definitely for income. I don't think in a decade's time that we're going to see new bands come out that will be solely live off their music. I think the chances are already low. They have always been low for bands to make that level of success. I think with various things that are going on now, and yes, AI is one of them, but I'm not going to reference it again. But, like, that's going to be even more difficult and maybe even impossible. I'm not even sure about that part yet. But also for me, like, I have to start from scratch in it's not entirely fair to say it like this, but in management, I have to start from scratch because I have no more active bands that I work with. I have, apart from Michael Salin, who I still help out, who's the current vocalist for Amaranth. But apart from that, I don't really have any active bands that I'm working with now. So for me, I have to start from scratch. Now, obviously, I have a reputation in the industry and just, like, a head start for it. But I'm also going to have to do other things, probably, because you know, I have stuff that I need to pay for, and I have a shitty car that I need to fix every month, probably. I have a dog that needs to eat. There's horses. You know, stuff like that has to be paid for. So I will also have to do other things, but I'm trying to figure out a way, especially now nearing my 40s, I'm trying to figure out a way to make it fun again to earn money, and that it's not even management at the end. And you saw the end of my, like, we'll call it my former career. You saw the end of it and how dead and broken the whole ride had made me after, like, 15 years, and how destroyed I was from it, just from a tired perspective. So now I'm just trying to make it more fun again. Like, I've tried working for other people. It's not exactly successful. I'm just not very good at listening to people in that way. Like, I'm not the one to follow orders. I am a bit of a know-it-all. So, and it would help if I wasn't correct 95% of the time. But I am, so I'm, you know, going to be annoying about it.
But is the delivery your issue? Like, there's a lot of people that work for other people, but they can find ways. They can, like, fucking Game of Thrones their way through the system. I don't know how to do that either. Yeah,
I can't do that. So there's two things. I worked for the first thing I did after leaving management. I'm quite open about this. I worked for a massive corporate company, one of the biggest companies on the planet. There is no way for me to show to safely show my personality there, and also know it better, because there's a million layers above you that won't listen. Like, you're not even going to get through the first layer, let alone the other 9 million of them. So that's not a place where I can work. I'm just going to get frustrated there. And then now, currently, I work for this smaller company with a massive revenue, but small in team size. And I'm one-on-one with the owner of the company. And it's not that, like, that stuff just doesn't work because we're both very stubborn. And it's just, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So it's just not fun for either one of us when I get into a know-it-all situation, or he does. So I don't think I'm fit for working for other people. I am way more fit at working with other people. Like, in the past, I've gotten into big arguments with Jake, you know, the Guilty Gorilla and stuff, but that's arguments that we will then figure out together. And there is nobody in that position that says, but it's my company, so I decide. No, it's just we're in this together. I'm very much a team-minded person.
And for those that don't know Jake, Jake from Syra.
From Syra, former vocalist for Amaranth, current vocalist of Syra, and co-owns Guilty Gorilla, and has for many years, and actor and musician and manager. But, you know, we fight. but then we always figure it out. I'm not you know this. I'm not the easiest person on the planet. I'm definitely not the most difficult one.
No, definitely not. I've seen some difficult motherfuckers.
Yeah, but I'm also not the easiest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the go with the flow kind of guy. I get really obsessive about things.
Do you know you haven't been easy in the moment or after the fact? Like when there's a situation that's happening and you're standing your ground, you're not straying from the path. You're like, no, this is exactly what we should be doing, or no, I believe it should be this way, and the other person's saying that way. In that moment, or you're like, I think I'm being difficult, or is it like once the situation's done, you're like, yeah, I was probably difficult.
What I've learned, and this is one of the positive things that has happened after working for someone. I now tend to see when I'm being difficult, but I don't know if I'm being difficult for the right reason. So what happens is, if I'm being difficult, or if I get angry, because I do get angry to the point where, like, I'm slamming a door here and there. Now I just prevent it, or as much as I can, because I still have a temper. And then I walk outside, and then I just take a couple of minutes, have a cigarette or a coffee or just a water, and just chill outside for a second and go, okay, so am I being difficult? Probably. Why am I being difficult? And does the other person have a better point or comparable point to what I have? And should I give it more attention, or should I go back inside and be difficult, but try to explain why I'm being difficult? So I'm trying to decipher it while I'm doing it. But in the past, I would either know that I was being difficult and not give a shit and just do all that while the argument's going on, instead of taking a couple of minutes.
It's the classic count to 10 and then kind of reassess.
Yeah. And usually I go, okay, I'm being difficult. I could give the other person some more leeway here. Like, I do have knee-jerk reactions sometimes. I tend not to have them outward facing, but inward facing to my own team or people I work with. And my friends, I have like these real big knee-jerk reactions. I had one this afternoon that I kind of still have to apologize to people for. Like, I get angry, and then I go, like, even if it's on text, I'll just go like, but fuck it, and then I type it, and then 2 seconds after I type it, I go, well, that wasn't smart. That's I'm right, but this isn't helping anyone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the situation where I'm in. So, but it's also me trying to form now quite quickly things that I want to do that will also generate money, and some things that might not generate money, like the podcast. We went into this well aware that this was not going to be a day job.
Yeah.
And this is not earning us like a single buck. But we still do it. That's because this is fun.
Yeah.
There's certain things in my head, like I spoke to you about. I want to start a YouTube channel where I do stuff that has to do with my hobbies, like motorcycles, also artists and guitars and drum kits, and like combine all of that together. You have the concept, you know it. I'll announce it soon enough. I still have to set up a couple of things. That's something that I see as a hobby that will be fun for me to do and make like my life fun. Not that my life's not fun right now, but like it just adds to the enjoyment of life.
It's a creative process, a creative outlet. Sorry.
Yeah, but also that's an idea, and I'm always honest about this. That's an idea that I think might earn money in the future. There is a chance of that. The podcast is the same. It might be, but it also might not be. But I'm still going to keep doing it because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
However, then there's also the management part where I will still be making this decision, which is an unfair decision. And everyone who thinks it's an unfair decision, and you can bleep this out if you want, can suck my dick. Because there's always been this decision where bands that want to do things professionally will have to pay me for my time. There is no way around it anymore. However, sometimes I run into a band that is very young, very, very inexperienced, but very good. And then I will do something for them for free. And people go, but that's really unfair because you're doing the same work for them as you're doing for us. Yes, but also a bunch of 16-year-olds just trying to have fun will get, first of all, scammed easier when they go into the music industry. And some of them go into fucking generational debt over this. So they need more help. And two, I've noticed that the people who have an issue with me sometimes doing something for free And if you're listening to this, I'm not even sure if you listen to the podcast, but there's a couple of specific people that I have in mind that I hope are listening. The difference between you and them is not necessarily the quality of music. It's the fact that you're a bunch of 50-year-old men trying to not be children. And in the result of that, being worse than a bunch of fucking children. You take up way more time in my personal life than these cool little 16-year-olds that just want to riff and play a fucking show. So excuse me if I want to help these kids sometimes. You know, I'm gonna have to stop doing a lot of things for free, though.
I do the same with post-production and video stuff. I do that for a living, and people outsource to me, or I freelance, or I jump on big projects. I would never go do something for free, but some band hits me up and they're like, yo, we want to make a music video. I either send them an invoice for like a symbolic payment, basically, that doesn't even cover a percentage of what I would actually charge, just to like make them feel like, oh, we paid for this. This feels good. Or I just say, bro, I'll do the music video for free. Make sure there's a credit and a link to where other people can book me if you like it, and that's it.
I mean, I try to be as reasonable as possible, and I do have other things in mind. Like the full-scale management that I have been doing is outdated for some bands. Like it's necessary for some, but for a lot of bands, it's outdated. A lot of bands just want advice. Mm-hmm. You know, we had these calls in the past as well with other bands that just want a little bit of advice, which is fine. I'm going to do that, and you know this already, but like I'm doing that in a different way now. You can now book your fucking meeting. You have to pay me up front a number. It's not very expensive if you're a band. If you're a singular person, it might be a little bit that you go, that's a bit much for like an hour of your time. Mm-hmm. But if you're a full band and I have to do a lot of work for it after the fact, like I'll talk to you for an hour. You give me all the stuff that I need, and I'll map out a plan for you, what I think is the first step you should do. And then you're not obligated to take a manager. You can just try to follow the advice first and grow before you get to that stage. Yeah, I think that's fair for everyone. But it's not my natural instinct. My natural instinct is, and always will be, oh, you want help? You're cool, dude. I'll help you. And then I just forget about the money or not. I just don't want to ask for money. But I've started, now that I'm close to my 40s, I'm like realizing like, okay, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. It's not sustainable whatsoever.
No, I can't do that anymore. That leads to like horrible incidents where, you know, you just don't earn anymore.
Yeah.
And you're still doing your job, and you're doing it well, and the results are coming in. And then nobody that I've ever given free advice that has like quote unquote made it by using that advice, 100% of them have never called me back and went, hey, that free advice you gave really worked out well, and we're earning a lot more now. Here's some money. Nobody's ever done that. So I realized I need to take care of my own interests as well. Like it has to be a mix, but it's not my natural instinct. My natural instinct is just, I wish I won $10 million so I could just the rest of my life just help people and do whatever the hell I want by doing it for free. Like I think that would be great. So if anyone wants to give me a one-time payment of 10 million euros, tax-free, then
yeah, your taxes fuck that shit up. Shit, man, dude. You're left with two, and two of them have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I will actually end up with like maybe 4 million. They'll take more than half. So yeah, if anyone has 10 million tax-free, good to go. I'll help.
Just leave it in a briefcase somewhere.
I'll help the music industry for free from that point on until the day I die. It's okay. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone's going to do that. So I'm going to have to charge people.
Imagine that does happen though. Imagine
the big donor just comes up and goes, oh, this is a cool podcast. Here's 15 million.
Exactly. Imagine something just happens where it's some random shit happens and you just stumble upon tens of million.
What would you do with 10 million? Whatever that is in the AED.
In the dirham. Put respect on the name, man. We have a symbol now. It's a D with 2 stripes through it.
Oh, like the Bitcoin signal, but then a D instead of a B. Good job.
I didn't even put that together. Yeah, it's a D. It's going to be on the keyboard soon. You'll see.
Nice. But what would you do with the
what keyboard? We don't know. But I don't know what I would do, man. I would.
I know exactly what I would do.
Listen, I don't spend a lot, so I'm probably invest in something, buy a house, and just fucking live the rest of my life chilling.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what I would do. It depends on the amount of money. I don't think
let's say like $10 million.
Euros, not dollars. Dollars depreciated to shit. Thank you.
Euros, whatever.
Euros. So 10 million euros, I would buy a farm so that I can have the horses at my house. That's $1.5 million gone. Easy. I would upgrade my car. 30,000 maybe.
You could buy whatever the fuck you want. You want to upgrade?
I would buy an upgraded version of the car. Like, I'm not going to spend 30,000 fixing it. I'll buy like
change the tires.
Yeah, no, I'll buy like a car, maybe worth like 30,000, not something crazy, but like, a Tesla or something. And then I would probably be good. I would spend the rest of my life helping. Depending on how big the farm was, I would take in horses that they would otherwise shoot, like running horses or working horses that break their leg. They're usually, you can heal the leg, but nobody wants them, so they'll shoot them. Because they won't be able to.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Racing horses, if they break their leg, they're dead.
Because they can't race anymore? Well, just keep them alive, for the sake of...
Nobody cares. I'm not entirely sure if breaking the leg is easy. I think it's also extremely difficult to make a horse recover from that. But any type of injury that makes them not race again is usually the end of their life cycle.
Damn.
So, and also working horses, if they can't work anymore, they're no longer of value. So they'll just sell them to a butcher because that's the value they get. But you can also just buy them and just have like a little animal sanctuary. I'd have that. I'd have an animal sanctuary. And the rest of my days, I would just be spending helping out either musicians or businesses that are failing that could use my help, because I do know a lot about running a business. So I'd consult, but I would not charge for it anymore. With 10 million, I just go, bro, just give, if it's far away, just pay for my flight in the hotel. And that's it. You don't get an invoice. Just make sure that I'm accommodated and doesn't cost me too much. And then, I'm good. I just want to help people. I'm such an asshole. Like in person, I'm such an annoying bastard. I'm not a very friendly person and I'm not very fun to hang out with, but I'm not a mean person. I just want to help people. So, I would genuinely just want to help people out. If tomorrow the lottery shows up at my doorstep and goes, hey, here's 10 million, I'll go, is it tax-free? Yes.
The tax is really weighing in on you.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it tax-free? Otherwise, I don't want it.
give me the final number, bitch. Give me the final number. Yeah. I want to know how much I actually have in my pocket.
You won 10 million. What is that after taxes? Like 79 euros. But I just genuinely want to help people. That's what I would do. I would spend my time just flying around the world, driving around, having fun. I would film everything for content. Anything I would do, I would film for content, which is what I would love to do anyway. At some level, I hate being the center of attention, but at some level, I genuinely love being the center of some form of attention, which is clear when I start speaking, because then I just keep speaking.
Also, both musicians, we stream, we vlog, we do the Instagram. Like, of course, we fucking like attention. Yeah. Literally, the thing that we thrive to do is to be more in the spotlight. But
on the other side, it's weird because I do my best to maintain out of the spotlight when it comes to like music stuff. Like all the artists are always in the front for me, and I would never try to take spotlight from them. I would also be very comfortable doing that. But then again, I also really like being given attention. Like I'm a bit of a stickler for it. So yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense both ways. But I would film everything, dude. I would love vlogging, but first of all, I need to buy some extra cameras. So if anyone doesn't have 10 million, but they have like, I don't know, 1,000, also good, but tax-free. And then I can buy new cameras and I'll do the vlogging. But I just like doing that stuff. But also, I am still in that phase where it feels uncomfortable for me to do it outside. I am not, like, I was super uncomfortable being on camera before COVID. I remember doing an interview, I can't remember where, for some festival, and I was like, please don't air this. Like, I'm so uncomfortable with the camera. Because of streaming and the podcast and all the stuff that we do together, I'm super comfortable with the camera now. Like, I don't care. I love it now. But going outside and holding up a camera or a phone like this and talking to myself while there's other people just going like, what's this dumbass doing? Because I also live in an area where that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not exactly an influencer state. This is farmland I'm in. So anytime you go outside and you hold up, even if it's a gimbal and you hold it up with your phone, people are going to go like, look at this motherfucker thinking he's interesting. What is this? What are you doing? Like, that's super uncomfortable for me. That's why I don't do it a lot.
That's something that I'm very comfortable with, and I used to do all the fucking time back in the day. Like when I was in college and stuff, I vlogged daily. The initial idea was it was a form of me getting my editing chops tighter. So I would film my day, and I would say I need to find at least 5 minutes within the day that's an interesting story. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes concurrent, but I have to find a 5-minute story within that day. And I filmed, edited, and uploaded every single day for like 3 years. And I did and I traveled and, driving from Arizona to LA and vlogged everything, everywhere. Fucking France, Germany, all the travels, everything that I did. And then a few, maybe 6 years ago, just before COVID, maybe 7 years ago, I went back and I watched them again. And I was like, dude, I just realized I made a fucking time capsule, not a daily vlog to get my editing chops up. I could tell you what country I was in and what I was doing and who I was drinking with at any point in time during those 3 years. And I was like, fuck, I love it. They're all unlisted now. There's a lot of people that are in high places that are, doing dumb shit in the vlogs. But it was an interesting time. And I really loved doing it. And I think that's why I fell in love with streaming. It was like vlogging and hanging out, but without the post-production part. It was just, you can make content and hang out with people and not necessarily have to sit and edit it and stuff like that. But when I did do the IRL stream a few months ago, holding that camera, talking to it like a vlog, but there was a chat on the other phone. And I was like, yeah, that's great. I'll see you guys after this. And I'd spin the camera around and somebody else would grab it and would talk to the camera. And I was like, fuck, I love that. That is the combination of the vlog world and the stream world just hit dead center.
Yeah, I'm too uncomfortable with it still. Like, I absolutely love, I've learned now that I love editing. I love that part where you can just sit down and just kind of tweak it the way that you want it to be, and just kind of seeing an end result. I didn't know what to do with editing at all until you kind of helped me out with it. Remember when I did the vlogs in the old office?
Yeah,
that was my first experience trying to edit even. So I've become more comfortable with it. I'm doing okay with it. When I have to edit something, it's okay. It's not top-notch production work, but it's like, okay, it's for a vlog, it's fine. It's super fun to do. It's just that part of holding the camera up and walking around with it outside that just, I hate people who do it most of the time. So I'm like, I'm one of these people now. But I genuinely like doing it, but I feel uncomfortable doing it. So I have to figure out how to prevent that.
Yeah. I think as long as you like doing it, because it doesn't matter if it's for 100, 1,000 people.
No, I don't do this part. I don't care about the numbers. It's just fun. It's the same with the podcast. And even though I don't really look at the numbers for the podcast anymore. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah,
I did for the first couple of episodes, but afterwards I was like, this is what it is. It's not bad. It's not great. It's a group of people who watch our podcast that seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which makes it enjoyable for me, at least. And if it grows, it grows. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We're still going to keep doing it. Or at least I am. And you are too, I guess. Because
it would be very different if it was just you going, hey guys, here's my rent.
Yeah, I'm still uncomfortable. But no, I like doing it. I'm not worried about the numbers. Like, I'll stream outside and it doesn't matter if it's like 3 people or 1,000. It doesn't matter. But it's just that part where it's uncomfortable for me, knowing that people on the other side of the street are going to look at me and go, what is this asshole doing? That makes it uncomfortable for me. Even though I don't care what people think about me in that regard, I kind of care too much about what people think about me.
That's very fucking interesting. I think, it's because the medium or the content is dedicated or aimed at the people that watch, and you don't want anybody else to be a part of it, including the weird look you might get across the street. It's like, yeah, this guy, go away. I want to do it for my people.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and also you can't see what I'm doing. You just see like a guy walking around talking to his phone loudly, and in a slightly different voice and in English, which is also for here of course, speaking to a phone in English in the area that I live, people are going, this, like, there's no misconception about people thinking, oh, he might be on a video call with someone. Everyone knows immediately, like, there's one of those vlogger assholes. So it's,
there's a really funny reel I saw on Instagram where this dude, the caption is influencing out in the public with my wife. He's not an influencer. He's just a regular dude, but he keeps grabbing his phone and going, "What up, gang? We are here at Good Friday. What's it? TGI Fridays." And you just see his wife in the background go, "What the fuck, bro? Stop!" And then, "What up, gang? We're in Target right now. I'm gonna grab some new boxers because my old ones are ripped." And he just says random shit, and you just see his wife like hiding between the clothes, like, "Shut up."
The wife is me, and then the worst part is I'm also the guy.
You're also the
I
guy.
have to do that, but I'm also the wife in the clothes going, "Why am I doing this? Why?"
You need to stop. You need to stop.
Yeah.
They can hear you.
Yeah, that's kind of my issue. I have to figure out a way around it. I think 10 million tax-free would help.
The tax-free is very important. Yeah, we've realized that. Fucker said tax-free like 16 times. He's trying to put it out into the universe. I want 10 million
10 million
tax-free.
Tax-free. I'm trying to manifest it, is what the kids say. I'm trying to manifest 10 million tax-free.
Speaking of manifestation, episode 13.
It is
0.5.
I don't think we have to delete this.
We don't have to delete this one. We'll put this one up.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. That's actually good.
Should we put the other one up on like Patreon or something where it's a very closed circle?
Maybe later.
Okay. Yeah.
I would be more careful now, and then maybe a little less careful later. For now, I would be more careful.
Like we said, guess what?
And guess who messed up the episode?
Oh, God.
Guess who said the most obnoxious shit that can't be aired?
Oh, man. But yeah, we'll figure it out. 'Tis time, Julien.
'Tis time.
'Tis time.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, then, I had fun. Did you have fun?
I had fun. I feel like we're getting back into the swing of things.
I feel like I talked too much this episode.
It's literally a podcast. I don't know.
Fair. I also feel like every podcast I talk too much.
It's us talking. That's the content of.
Fair. Next episode, I'm just gonna shut up and sit here.
Next episode, it's him dancing, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. That's building structure is important, and this building structure is not made for me dancing.
You heard it here first. Next episode 14, is Julien's twerk preferences.
Twerk of death.
Any last words?
A square hole is worse than a round one.
Is it a hole if it's a square?
See you next week.